Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash, and double honors to the Apostle Saint. It was a great millstone that rule very well continually to this very day. Still pushing this ministry, this gospel to the members of the Hof Elect. And Shalom to the Hof Elect that's continually laboring in this truth, that's continually that's pushing this word headstrong in all faith, true sincerity to make your calling and election sure. Shalom. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled "The Spiritual Bank Account." As you can see, there I got in front of me is a money bag, a gold coin bag or money bag, because this work that we're involved in is known as a business. All right. Now, by business, I don't mean like, we go out and just like these so-called pastors, we don't go out, for ask for donations or, go out and work for like these greenbacks, these dollar bills, and these silver, cheap silver coins we call quarters, dimes, and nickels. All right. The business that we're involved in is concerning the reward. All right. Once again, not talking about no greenbacks or nothing like that. The spiritual bank accounts that we have, as we continue to work and to produce, as we're continually involved in this ministry, which is the ministry of Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, and His Son's name Yahushai. All right, since we're involved in the business and the ministry of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're building up. We're announcing ourselves a certain amount of award or reward for the work that we do. Just like today, you work for greenbacks, dollars, in this so-called white man society, Esau society, to where you have to work to pay bills with the money that you earn. You have to pay for resources like food, water, just to get from point A to point B. You have to dish out certain amounts of money to do that. But the reward that we're getting is worth so much more than what we see today, man. All right? Because this place is filthy, man. This place is filthy. It's corrupted. And the people are filthy and corrupted. All right? So the reward that we're going to get for doing the work which is in the business of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're going to receive the kingdom, which is the reward. All right. That's what's in our spiritual bank account. Okay. And, just to get into the precepts. Let's see. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. It says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." All right. So, you got, especially among our people, you got Jake, especially old heads that are saying, well, I did this and that, build up my retirement, and, my 401k, got my 401k together, they're doing that, just to get themselves a phony money, just to waste it, putting so many hours into laboring for Esau, and then ending up having nothing in the end. All right. So moth and rust doth corrupt it, man, for the money that they're working for. All right. And it says, and where thieves break through and steal. All right. So who are the thieves of today? Esau, so-called white man, because he can go into your bank account, say, well, you owe this amount of money, this much money, go in and take it out, because when you're dealing with Esau, it's like a blood contract, man. All right. So whatever changes that he wants to make to that contract, he'll make it and do whatever he wants to do. All right. Why is that? Because that contract that you sign, that so-called blood contract, and I call it so-called because, Jake not literally going up and, pricking their fingers and signing their name in blood in the contract. No, it's spiritual. All right. Because they're giving themselves over to Esau. Okay. So whatever changes they make to that contract, of them owning you, they'll do that. Okay. They'll make those certain changes and they'll take advantage of it. So right here where it says where thieves break through and steal, they can do that because it's their money. All right. And by that money, I mean the higher ups, the elites, the so-called elites of Esau, which is the bankers. Okay. Verse 20 says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt and where thieves do not break through nor steal. All right. So you have to lay up treasures for yourselves in heaven. All right. Like it says, is where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt and where thieves do not break through nor steal. All right. Because Esau, no matter what he does, we're going to continue to do the work. And if it gets to certain of us, then guess what? They can't steal our treasure. All right. Because that's laid up in heaven. All right. The Most High is taking account of that. Okay. And Esau can't touch that. Okay. So it said neither where nor moth nor rust does corrupt and where thieves do not break through nor steal. All right. So it's not going to corrupt because it's going to be an everlasting reward. Okay. Verse 21 says, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. All right. Like it says, lay up yourselves treasures in heaven. So it said, wherever your treasure is, since your treasure is in heaven, your heart is going to be there also. Which your heart, you go into the word heart, which it means lob in the Hebrew. And the definition of the word lob means the mind. All right. So wherever your mind is, if your mind is in the heavenly things, in the holy conversation, in His work, then guess what? That's where your treasure is going to be. But if your mind is stuck on the things of this world, that's where your heart is going to be at, man. All right. That's where your treasure is going to be at. If you treasure things such as like this, hey, there's money. All right. That's a perfect example. But there's other things that you can treasure, like your woman. that's very prominent among our nation. All right. The woman, your children, your job, whatever you might be into, maybe music, whatever. Some people put that as their treasure, right? Like their most prized possession, and that's where their heart is. That's where their mind is. Their mind is stuck on that one treasure, right? Stuck on that treasure that they have, and that's where they're gonna be. That's what they're gonna tend to, for lack of a better term. Okay. Now, go from there. I want to grab a quick precept. This is the business that we're involved in. All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse 18. It says, and Yahushua, who these people ignorantly called Jesus, and Yahushua, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brethren, Simon, called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net in the sea, for they were fishers. And he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. All right. So that's the business that we're involved in. We're fishers of men. All right. This is fishing season. Okay. Pretty soon about to be hunting season. All right. You go to the book of Jeremiah 16 verse 16. It tells you that. All right. that lets you know that this is the business of fishing. All right, we're fishing. We're fishers of men. All right, we're fishing for the elect. All in all, man, because 2/3, we already know 2/3 are destined for destruction. 2/3 of our people, should I say? All right. So we're the fishers of the election. All right. That's the business that we're involved in. Okay. Now, I want to go from there. I want to get the book of Matthew. Matthew 20. Matthew 20, verse 1. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. All right. And he said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way." Now, where are we when we go out and prophesy, when we go out and do the work, which we call it the work, man. That's why we call it going. That's why we say, well, we going out and doing the work, or I got to go out and do the work on Saturday, when I go to camp. I'll go to the camp, should I say. All right. That's the work. That's the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. So, and where is that? In the marketplace. All right. So when we go out on the highways and byways, all right, what do we see, man? People standing idle. Now, not only people, but our people, Jake. All right. So he says he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. All right. So the ones that hear and understand, all right, they're gonna go into the vineyard and they're gonna work too. All right. They're gonna get involved in this work of this thing of ours, man. All right. Verse 5 says, Again, he went out about the 6th and 9th hour and did likewise. All right. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? All right. They say unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, Call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. All right. Which, I speak as a fool. When I read verse 8, when it says, even so, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward. That's when Yahushua returns. All right. When Yahushua returns, he's going to give us our hire. All right. Whatever, what we work for. Because when we all involved in when we all get our hands dirty, so to speak, we put our hand to the plow, we're working for that penny. Okay. Now, reading on, it's going to explain further. Verse 9 says, And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, right, the first they got hired, right, that worked all day long, all right, which the first starts with the apostle elders, all right. They've been in this thing for 20 years, going on, man. 20 years plus. For years and years on end, man. So they were the first, right? So, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny, all right? And the apostle elders understands this, man. They know that they're working for that same penny, all right? And they don't mind, all right? Because we want one thing, man. At the end of the day, we want one thing, and that's the kingdom, okay? It says, And when they had received it, they murmured against the good men of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden in the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. It's like, man, I didn't do you any wrong. All right. I didn't lie to you. Okay. Which that word friend, I'm going to the word friend. All right. Just to throw this out there, the word friend means brother. All right. It says, brother, man, I didn't do you any wrong, man. I was like, this not thou agree with me for a penny. All right. So there it is, man. So you agree with me for a penny. All right. He didn't say like how much you will earn, in each hour that you work. He said, look, you're going to work for me in the vineyard. You're going to work for me in the vineyard, and I'm going to give you a penny a day. All right. So when that day is up, I'm going to give you that penny that you work for. It doesn't matter what time of day that you started. Okay. And it says, verse 14, it says, take that thine is and go thy way. I will give unto this last, even as unto thee. All right. It goes to scripture, said the last shall be first and the first shall be last. All right. Now I want to go on from there. I want to get the book of Matthew 25 and 27. Actually, I'm starting at verse 27 because especially with concerning this going out to the highways and byways, man, you also got to put up the videos as well. That's also a part of the work. All right. Because this is a verse here in the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. It's like not 40. Verse 27. It says, thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Now, this verse, we read this verse, and we sometimes we'll skim over and not really break it down. But verse 27 is talking about uploading the videos to the internet, because when you put the money, you're putting the money up to the exchanges. The exchange is talking about this the internet, man. All right. Why is that? Because when you leave that money with the exchanger, then basically that money gets distributed out into the airways. All right, which the money, when I say money, I'm talking about this knowledge, this truth. All right. And it gets distributed out to the members of the hopeful elect, so they'll be able to receive it. All right. So therefore, when Yahushua returns, he says he's going to receive his own with usury. Okay. So it's more than just going out on the highways and byways and, cursing out the so-called white man, this and that. It's more than that. Yeah, we do that. All right. And we are to do that. We're supposed to do that. But it's more it's more than just doing that. Just that, man. All right. We're here to edify, here to exhort, here to rebuke, reprove. We're here to do all those things, man. Okay. Like it says in the book of I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 2 Timothy, where it says that. Actually, let me get it real quick. Just for the sake of edification. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. All right. So in season, when it's nice outside, the weather's just right. You got springtime, everything's blooming, everything's in full bud. And then out of season, when it's cold, in the wintertime, things are not sprouting. It's in the brick. We're in the brick cold. That's out of season, man. All right. So preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Okay. So even in season, out of season, we're to do all those things. That's doing the work. Okay. Now, I'll go back. Let's see. Get the book of John, chapter 6. John chapter 6, verse 27. All right. It says, John chapter 6, verse 27. It says, labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath the Most High, the Father, sealed. All right. So right here, man, it says, labor not for the meat which perisheth, right? Which that's what Jake is doing today, man. They're laboring for the meat that perisheth, right? That treasure that's stored up on the earth where moth and rust corrupt, right? But he said, labor for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which is this work, all right, this ministry that we're involved in, all right, going out to the highways and byways. That's the work, okay? Said, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, all right. You know, I'll make a separate video continuing on, because I know, I'm drawing it out a little bit, but just gonna make a part 2 to this same lesson, Lord willing, going into the work that we've been called to do, okay? Because that's one of the main platforms is out on the highways and byways. All right. So like I said, I'll do a separate video to back this one up, Lord willing. It says, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath the Most High the Father hath sealed. All right. Or him hath the Most High the Father hath sealed. Slakia. For him hath the Most High the Father sealed. Slakia. All right. Now I want to go from there. I want to get the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. All right. That says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having, that's the point in this precept, and having done all to stand. All right. And having done all to stand. Okay. So when you go out and do the work, that's fall behind putting on the whole armor. All right. But like I said, the point is in where it says, and having done all to stand. All right. Because you have to do this thing with your whole heart, man. All right. I believe there was another precept that I had, but I don't know why I don't know why I didn't put it in here, but let me look for it. There's another precept that fall behind this one in the book of Baruch, where it says, therefore being returned to the Heavenly Father, seek him 10 times more. Okay. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 36. It says, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahushua said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. All right. So right here, man, it says to love the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, with all thy mind. And what's that, man? All right, doing the work. All right, doing the work to the best of your ability, and we got to say that, man. All right, because we can never go far enough. I think there's another precept that says that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna do a word search. I don't think this. I might have to go into the Apocrypha and find it. I don't remember exactly where it is. Here it is. Okay. Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha. Right. This is Sirach chapter 43, verse 30. It says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. All right. So right here, man, said, don't weary, don't become weary. All right. Don't faint, because you can never go far enough for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So, that backs up what I just read earlier. And speaking about to love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. All right, because you can never go far enough, like it said in the book of Sirach, chapter 43. All right. Now, let's look up the book of Baruch, and we'll close it on out. This book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 28. It says, "For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, all right, so being returned, seek him 10 times more." All right. So, you do the math. All right. Do 100 times 10 and see what you get out of that calculator. And that's how much that the scripture is talking about. It says, so being, seek him 10 times more, which is 10 times 100. All right. You look that up. Hey, that's the mindset we got to have. All right. So with that, hopefully, Lord willing, you all can be edified with this video. Till next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They rule very well, continually to this very day, man, still doing his work, headstrong, has been laboring for that penny that we're all working towards. All right. And shalom to the Hofi elect that's also continually plowing in the vineyard, in the Lord's vineyard.